The morning sun filters through stained glass windows, casting kaleidoscope patterns across the wooden pews as Sarah adjusts her choir robe with practiced hands. Her fingers automatically smooth invisible wrinkles, a ritual she's performed every Sunday since she was 12. The scent of lemon polish and old hymnals wraps around her like a familiar embrace as she takes her place beside Mrs. Henderson, who's been singing soprano in this very spot for 42 years. Sarah's voice rises with the others during the opening hymn, her pitch-perfect alto blending seamlessly into the tapestry of sound that has defined her Sundays since childhood. After service, she lingers to arrange the altar flowers just so, white lilies precisely 3 inches apart, their stems trimmed at matching angles, while the deacons discuss next week's potluck. Wednesday finds Sarah in the church basement, helping with the after-school program where she's known as Miss Sarah to a dozen gap-toothed children who fight over who gets to sit next to her during story time. She distributes juice boxes with equal care, making sure each child gets their preferred flavor, her movements as measured as the Bible verses she teaches them. Later, at home, she prepares Thursday's lesson plan while her grandmother's ancient tea kettle whistles in the kitchen, chamomile at 8:15 p.m. sharp, the steam fogging up her glasses as she blows on the steaming liquid exactly 5 times before the first sip. Friday night brings the youth group meeting where Sarah moves through. The crowd of teenagers with quiet assurance, her presence like a calm harbor in their stormy adolescent lives. She remembers each kid's struggles, Jake's parents' divorce, Maya's college anxiety, and offers exactly the right words without needing to consult her well-worn counseling notebook. As she locks up the church, her fingers automatically trace the cross above the doorframe, a silent prayer she's whispered since she first could reach the carving at age 9. But tonight, something feels different. The cross's wood feels warmer than usual under her fingertips. Or maybe it's her hands that are colder. She pauses, frowning at the way her breath comes quicker than it should for such a simple walk to her car. The streetlight flickers overhead as she digs for her keys, and when they slip from her suddenly clumsy fingers, the metallic clatter against pavement sounds unnaturally loud in the empty parking lot. Sarah shakes her head, dismissing the odd moment as fatigue, but as she drives home, she keeps checking the rearview mirror more often than necessary. Her shoulders tense beneath the sensible cardigan she's worn every Friday night for years. Following Sunday, Sarah notices him immediately. A stranger lingering near the back pews as the choir finishes their anthem. His dark suit fits too well for someone who clearly doesn't belong here, and the way his eyes track her movements makes her fingers tighten around her hymnal. When she glances again during the benediction, he's gone, leaving only the faint scent of something smoky and expensive hanging in the air. She tells herself it's nothing. Visitors come and go all the time, but that evening, as she organizes the donation closet, she finds a black silk scarf tucked between boxes of canned goods, something no one in their modest congregation would own. The fabric slips through her fingers like liquid, and she shoves it to the bottom of the pile, her pulse quickening for no reason she can name. On Tuesday, she sees him again. This time, he's outside the church, leaning against a sleek car as she walks to her own. He doesn't speak, just watches her with an amused tilt to his mouth as if they share a secret she hasn't been let in on yet. She ducks her head and hurries to her car, but not before catching the way the streetlights reflect gold in his eyes, an unnatural glint that lingers in her mind long after she's driven away. That night, she skips her usual tea ritual. Instead, she stands at her bedroom window, staring into the darkness beyond her reflection. The street is empty, but she can't shake the feeling of being watched. When she finally sleeps, her dreams are filled with unfamiliar laughter and the scent of that damned scarf. By Thursday, she's convinced herself she's imagining things. The stranger was just passing through. The scarf was left by a well-meaning donor. But as she leads the children in their closing prayer, she catches a flicker of movement outside the basement window, a shadow that moves too deliberately to be a tree branch. Her voice falters mid-verse, and little Jake tugs at her sleeve, asking if she's okay. She forces a smile and finishes the prayer, but her hands tremble as she passes out the juice boxes, and for the first time, she doesn't notice who gets grape and who prefers apple. That's when she realizes she's waiting for him, listening for footsteps that don't belong, scanning crowds for a face that shouldn't matter. And when she finds herself slipping the silk scarf into her purse instead of throwing it away, she doesn't stop to question why.